In the morning, wake up 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 in the morning, the swag in the morning, the swag in the morning.
Say with amazing grace.
It's us in the morning with the swag in the morning.
Say with amazing grace.
The swag in the morning, swag in the morning,
Swag in the morning time.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's the world's famous, yes, I said it in my Mr. Magic's voice. It's world famous swag in the morning. I'm your brother, Prince Cree. And Lady D, she's doing something more important than hanging out with me, left me to do all the announcements and all of that stuff. But big up to my wife, Lady D. Love her to life. Swag stands for Say with Amazing Grace, and morning don't mean daytime. It means new hope, new beginning, freedom from being in the darkness. And right now, in this hour, during these minutes and these tick-tock seconds, my mission is to bring someone in to the light. Bring them into the light. Bring them into the light. Before I get started, I'd like to tell y'all something that I called the swag coffee. I know everybody got the tea, but I have the coffee. And this coffee is to give you a spark, to inspire you, to wake you up. I want to speak about the value that you have in your house, or how valuable you are. In the Bible, 2 Kings chapter 4, it speaks about a widow, a lady, her husband died, and he left the debt. And so the bill collector or the debt collector was knocking on her door, wanted his money, and said, if you don't pay me my money, lady, I'm going to take your kids and I'm going to make them my slaves. And the lady was saying, no way, I can't let this happen. So what did she do? She went up to the prophet Elisha. Elisha was the guy, the prophet that her husband was rolling around with. And she said, prophet, can you help me? And he said, lady, what is it you want from me? Help me, because my husband was doing all these things with you. I'm going to make it more for today. He was running the streets with you, laying hands on people and all of that stuff. You mean to tell me you don't have no money to help me get out of debt? He said, lady, what is it that you want from me? And he said, know what is it that you have in your house? And she said, nothing but this little flask of oil. She downplayed the oil. Because most of the times we don't know the value of what's in our own house. I'm a big fan of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And Napoleon Hill, he speaks about this farmer who was looking for diamonds and was in the backyard in his farm digging for diamonds and saw this rock that was ugly and black and didn't look so good. And he said, let me sell this. I got to go to California. I got to go. But do you not know there's acres and diamonds in your backyard? The lady didn't know the value of that oil. So what Elisha told her to do, go borrow some vases, some jars from your neighbors and friends. And I want you to fill the oil in each bottle. And when it stops flowing, I want you to sell some to get out of debt. And the rest is for your profit. She did it. You never know what's in your house until you look around. My wife does this to our children. She said, I want y'all to go find something that you can sell or an idea or a business idea, because there's value in you. This guest that I'm getting ready to bring on right now, he's found value inside of him. He went to school for psychology and all of that stuff, right? But he found his niche, his gift that was inside of him to tell stories and to share stories. Listen, your idea will live longer than you. So this guy, I'm giving names out. J-Pack. I read his bio, and normally I'll be the one reading the bio. Lady D will be reading the bios, but I'm just gonna tell you from my heart about what I've read about this guy. But I'm gonna bring him to the stage. This is about this guy. Shout out! I'm wearing pink because this month of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and this event is powered by Catch the Promise. They have a event that's going down this Friday. Please, you're gonna see the post, and I'm gonna share it with you guys as well. But let's bring to the stage the incredible, the amazing. I'm gonna call him my uncle. I don't know who's older, who's younger. Put your damn hands together for Mr. Pat. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Give some more hand clap. Give some more hand clap. Stage is yours, my brother. How you feeling, man?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, Prince? Thanks for having me.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Let me take the cool off. I can't be cool all day because I may want to have to read this phone with all your good stuff here. So you went to, what is it, Emory? Oh, let me go back to this, man, because your bio was exciting, man. I was trying to print it off, man. So you went to Emory and Henry College in Virginia.
That's right.
Is that Northern Virginia? Because I'm in Hampton Roads.
No, it's southwestern Virginia near Abingdon, if you know, in Emory, Virginia. So I grew up in Blacksburg, Virginia, where Virginia Tech is. And then just down 81, a little bit further southwest is Emory. And Abingdon is a town adjacent somewhat, and people know Abingdon, Virginia. Going towards Bristol.
So you moved to LA.
Yes, yeah. After college, yeah, right out there.
Now you wasn't the farmer that AJ. You wasn't the farmer that was like, I need to go to LA to find my acres and diamonds. But you just went there for what? To get into acting and filmmaking? It was a little bit more resourceful there, correct?
Yeah, it was to get into acting and filmmaking. Absolutely. That's what I did.
Great. So what actually inspired you to get into this? Because look, your degree, I'm looking at this stuff, man, in business and economics and psychology, economics and business. You got all that under your belt.
Yeah.
Why films?
Well, I just grew up loving all of it, watching cinema and with my friends and memorizing lines, just loving, actors and cinematography, writing and editing and all of it. So, I started writing a little bit when I was in middle school and then high school. And then when I was a senior in high school, I ended up doing a project where I made a short film based on one of the Canterbury Tales. And I used my grandparents' Hi-8 video camera, and they had 2 VCRs. So I got my friends in on, and they played the roles. And then I ended up cutting it from playing one VCR and recording onto the other. And that was my cut. I didn't have any means other than, playing, recording. And I made this little short film then. And, I was playing basketball. That was my thing back then too. So I ended up getting recruited to Emory and Henry. So I was trying to play ball there. So I did for a little bit, and just wasn't thinking about that as a career as far as acting and filmmaking at that point. I just loved it. And so I just did what I thought was the right thing. And, I double majored in psych and economics and business, thinking I would just go into that at some point, or I got into grad school. But I was working at a video store for a couple of years in Abingdon, Big Al's Video. I loved, every bit of it. So I just, I categorize my memory is on VHS tapes from anytime I think of old movies or any movie, my mind goes to the video cassette that I used to just, knew and was enthralled by. And so, I had a VCR that I took home from work there, and my buddies and I, I was renting movies all over the place. I just was infatuated with it. So then I ended up getting the drama teacher got in touch with me at one point there and asked me if I was interested in going out for a play. And I read for that play and got the lead. And so sort of hooking me, it was happening, and without me trying too hard to get into what I was loving, and it sort of really made the decision for me. And so instead of going to grad school at Middle Tennessee State, actually is where I got in. I'm like, you know what? I'm packing up the truck. I'm going to LA. And I'm gonna just go for it, you know. So I just jumped in out there, and everything in front of and behind the camera that I could get involved in, I did it, you know. I got a Tupac video. It was the very first thing I ever did. I got $50 to play the main cop in Holler If You Hear Me.
Okay.
Then I played another cop in another music video from, you probably remember the movie Posse.
Posse, yeah.
Mario Van Peebles and
Yeah.
Big Daddy Kane, you know, and so yeah, it was a song that was on the soundtrack. So I played another cop in that, and then I got work as a production assistant for Roger Corman Studios. So I did a couple of movies. I did Alien Avengers and Humanoids from the Deep as a PA, and had a little bit of a speaking role in Alien Avengers, and where I was a prison guard. George Wendt was in that scene, you know, and I just did it. Like I say, I just jumped in. So I was in acting classes for years, and I started getting work on soap operas. So I was on Days of Our Lives probably like 14 times, and a couple of other soaps. And then I got a job shooting and editing weddings and bar mitzvahs for this company in Beverly Hills. So I really just kind of started to learn the process and cut my teeth on those, you know, and you know, just stepping it along. I was waiting tables and bartending forever, and just auditioning like crazy, and going down to the wire on some big time stuff, and did a lot of commercial work. But then I was also working in post. So I was working for a company that was doing a lot of reality TV, and I was assistant editor for a show called Sunday Morning Shootout. And that was fantastic. It was at Raleigh Studios right across the street from Paramount. So, and then I was associate editor, assistant story editor for different TV shows, and they knew what I was up to. So I was shooting B-roll for them, and I was going out and doing a bunch of camera work and all. And then along the way, and then I started writing scenes and then shorts, and then I directed a short film about 24 minutes called The Money Belt that a buddy of mine wanted me to direct. And from there, I just jumped to another, and a friend threw me a script called These Boots Are Made for Walking. And so I changed up some of the scenes. He allowed me and my buddy to work on doing it however we wanted. And my great friend Andrew Bowen at the time, he does a super Christopher Walken. So it's about a guy who commits himself.
That's one of my favorite guys, man.
Yeah, this story is pretty unique. It's about a guy who commits himself to a mental institution after a bad breakup. He thinks he's Christopher Walken. So they go through, he and his brother, you know, break him out of there, and they pull off this heist and, you know, help this girl and help this girl's grandmother. And it's just really sweet, heartwarming thing. So that really got me on, you know, because we shot on Super 16, and I produced it and cut it also. And we were in over 30 festivals, won like maybe 13 awards. And so ever since, it's just, I'm in it, you know, to win it all together with however I can get in to be a writer, director, and direct feature films. That's my goal. So I just have been stepping it along and writing and directing. Since I've been in Atlanta, I've written and directed 3 more, and been a finalist. These Boots Are Made for Walking was a finalist at Peachtree Village International in 2008. And then 2 of my feature scripts that I wrote, Moonshine and Wild Bill in Winter, were finalists another year at Peachtree. And so the short that's in there right now, that it's a finalist of mine, is a proof of concept for one of those feature scripts. So Wild Bill in Winter, I took scenes from and made this little narrative, and been entering it in as proof of concept or experimental in different short film festivals. And then I entered it at Peachtree Village just as a short film, you know, without a designation, and they accepted it as a finalist. So, you know, I'm just trying to.
You're just going, you're just cooking.
It's a struggle for sure, but when I roll it all out, it sounds pretty cool, pretty great. And for me, it's like been an independent study. I just love most all of it, except for it's just a grind.
Do you like do you like acting or getting behind the camera? Because I noticed the transition in your bio is that, you know, you were fascinated by, because of your, I believe your major was, you was interested in those type of films like Alien, Avengers, and then you got behind the camera. You was on Zane Chronicles on HBO stuff. Um,
Yeah.
what do you like the most, being behind the camera, directing, or being in front of the camera as an actor?
Um, it's pretty close, but I would say it's probably directing just because you get to be overseeing all of the whole thing. And it becomes, you know, especially when the ones that I've written, you know, it's your story. You're at the helm. You're shaping it. You're every decision and how it ends up, and visually trying to get to what you have in your head, and trying to make that happen, or trying to, you know, create what you thought it would be, should be. And so it doesn't have to be stuff that I've written either. I've had buddies all the time, you know, in LA, coming to me with their projects, and we would talk about it, and they want me to direct and shoot it. I was doing a lot of, really, they thought I was a DP. I was camera operating a lot. So I would, when they would come to me that way, I did probably 4 or 5 different things, music videos and different scenes and shorts where I was directing and involved with, you know, as my acting helps out a lot with being able to talk with and have, you know, giving kind of a confidence that doesn't have to be talked about so much. But with me being, you know, in the shoes of, or having been, then it has kind of a shorthand, and it's sort of unconscious with whoever the actor is or actress. And, you know, it really helps in what they're up to, because they feel confident in what they're doing. And then, you know, we have a dialogue, and just to be able to kind of knock it out in the best way, you know, we can try to make it work. So I just, you know, I love just the interaction, the collaboration, and overall just the making of, and making a whole product, you know, and making things that are unique. I've been writing stuff that, you know, is just wholly different. I mean, it's going to be similar in certain ways, but it's definitely things that, you know, to try to show people that I can, you know, it's not just some run of the mill type of stuff. Usually it's kind of stuff
Exactly.
that's going to pop, you know, and kind of get people's attention and be like, oh, that's really kind of wild and interesting. I've done a few, the ones I've done here, especially, well, and in LA too. I did a spec commercial called Chickenable that I had this idea about for a long, long time. And I love this restaurant out there called El Pollo Loco. So it means the crazy chicken. And their commercials were just, I don't know, showing them cutting up chicken and making salads and stuff in these gleaming kitchens, you know. So for a couple of years, I'm like, I need to figure this out with my buddies. I would always, so for, you know, I made it about a chicken who loves the taste of chicken. He can't help himself. And I played the chicken in a full body chicken costume. You know, it was a little dark probably for El Pollo Loco, but, you know, it's wild and it's fun. It's different. and it showcases, you know, my filmmaking and my acting. So I'm just, you know,
Exactly.
trying to get people to like what I'm up to and want to hire me as a director, essentially, but as an actor
Get it,
too.
man. It's coming, man. I like what you're doing. Hey, Jeremy, let me ask you something. Do you have any mentors, indirect or direct? Anyone that truly inspired you, encouraged you to get more into what you're doing now, as far as acting or even filmmaking?
Oh yeah, for sure. So Alan Pickerel was the person at Emory and Henry who was in my corner, and really the first person to kind of tap me and ask if I would be interested in that play, you know, and that's what I was saying got me kind of off and running. Acting teachers, one in particular, Basil Hoffman, who was a character actor in many, many things that Robert Redford directed. And he was in Night Shift, if you remember that movie that Ron Howard directed with Michael Keaton and Henry Winkler. So fun and funny. And he had this great part at the end. But he just, again, somebody who was really confident in me and in my corner, and kind of helped me along with where I was in my place with acting at that time. I had been studying for years and years, but him especially was would be somebody. Also, another director, writer, director. His name is Harvey Keith. and he directed this movie called Mondo, New York. It's kind of a classic in New York for sure. It's kind of really raw, and he just was a big influence in a lot of what I was doing, because he saw what I did with these Boots Are Made for Walking, and really just was very encouraging to me. And we were trying to produce a project together, and he introduced me to DP Andre Sakula, who was Tarantino's DP in the beginning with Reservoir Dogs. So yeah, I would say those three for sure. But it's always, you've got people who help you along or want to see you do
Yeah.
well, and kind of try to help in some way, whatever they can. But those three for sure that come to mind right away.
Let's talk about Wild Bill in the winter,
Yeah.
because that's one of the things that I believe Len, president of Peachtree, has sent me to watch, man, or something he sent. This was, I want to say last year, if I'm correct. I forget, but that's the eyes. I want me to keep my eyes on that. So I want you
Nice.
to talk about it. I want you to get excited about it, because I can't wait. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, well, thanks very much. So, yeah, it's about a man who's just gone through a lot in his life. He had some trouble. We were getting into trouble different ways, but not major. He's just, you know, one of the main things that happened to him that really kind of put him on a down track, or emotionally he got affected by, was his daughter got into a car accident on a Halloween night and ended up in a coma and then passing away. And he was always pretty wild and partying and stuff like that. But that tragic event really kind of set him down and really put him in a tailspin. So for years and years and years of dealing with that, he had two sons, but the daughter that happening to her really affected him. So the title Wild Bill in Winter is just kind of where he is emotionally, because he is a wild man, or known in the small town as getting into different crazy situations, or finding, he would, a lot of it probably was alcohol involved, but he would like to party. And if anybody also wanted to come over and party with him, he would. And so just a lot of small town kind of fun things. And it would go around town with, what Bill do? What Bill get into last night? Let me hear what happened, and just kind of sort of crazy stories. So I just wanted to write this, and how his journey, I wrote a day in the life, kind of crammed in a bunch of stories that I thought would work well in that day in the life, and how it would roll out. And in the beginning, he has a surgery. You don't know he has a surgery. He comes out of the hospital and he's all beat up. And there's a scene with the doctor, and you just kind of think he's there because he has these lacerations, or he's definitely been in a fight. And so through the course of the story, you hear some we've had some flashbacks, and then you get to know him through the flashbacks and through other people talking about him, but also basically mostly following him around through this day. And at the end of the whole story, I don't want to reveal what this surgery was, but
I want you to don't give too much away, because you got me already on the edge. That's why I ain't even jumping in and asking no questions.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this, man.
Well, there's a parallel story with his father, that kind of breaks out, or he leaves an old folks home essentially. And so they don't know where he is. And so that's going on. And then it gets to the Bill and his brother and sister, and they don't know where Pop is, the dad. And so he's on a journey that's sort of parallel as the story is going along. And he's basically going back to his wife, he knows is not doing so well. She's in the hospital. So he's making a journey. Bill's taking this journey. And then in the end, it all comes together. And, the police were involved quite a bit. And in this particular way I ended it was, he's drunk and shooting off the shotgun. He lives in the country. It's nothing to be you know, worried about necessarily, but of course somebody called it in. So the cops are coming out there, and his son is a deputy sheriff. So he got called out there too. So he has to come out and try to take care of it, and help out the situation. And it just all comes together in sort of a funny, heartwarming way at the end, sort of in a nutshell there for you without giving.
I'm
too
excited,
much away.
man. I I'm
But the
excited.
short now, the thing is, just to know, that's the feature. The short kind of just introduces him in certain ways that I picked out, and it has the father also making a little. You see him. You don't know if it's, well, it's ambiguous, you know, in the telling,
Okay.
because it's more just a peek, people's curiosity about. There's a full length movie that really fleshes out, you know, because the daughter that he lost, she's not really written into the main, but what happened with the short, I ended up having that character interact somewhat with Bill. And that's kind of what the short really is their relationship, and then seeing the father or the grandfather kind of make his way across as well. So there's levels going on, and then it's really seeing Bill down and dealing with, and he is, you know, listening to his daughter that shows up when he's driving his truck, or, you know, so
Okay.
he has a relationship with her.
Okay.
So that just kind of came up when I wanted to make this short, and it's how storytelling goes, because I'm sort of fascinated by that, because that wasn't in the script, but I made that into this so this could show as a proof of concept. So it's gotten me kind of thinking I probably will have that in the main story or in the feature when I do get to make it too. And that just happened when,
I can't wait, man. I can't wait, Jeremy. Listen, this is the time where, although the stage is yours, and I want to be able to appreciate your gift and give you my version of an Oscar, but the stage is yours. You got a contact information. You want people to follow you on your website. You want people to know something really amazing about you. You want to encourage someone. You want to give some advice of what some of the young filmmakers can do to better themselves. This is your time to do it. The stage is yours. If you want to share one or two things with someone that's coming up, if you want to get some investors to bite on what you have, and I know the Peachtree is the vehicle. It has been doing this for 20 years. And by the way, just a little plug and let you know, October the 16th to the 19th, it's going down in Atlanta, Georgia. I want folks to get involved with Gyro Go, JAROGO. Download the app on Google Play or the Apple Store. Be a part of that community so people can share and network. That's the key to forming a Voltron. So, Pat, if you wanted to share something with someone, give some advice, tell people where they can find you. You got your website and all that. The stage is yours.
Well, first, I'd like to give a big shout out to Peachtree Village International Film Festival. I'm honored to be a part of it again. Thank you to Lynn Gibson, who I've gotten to know a bit over these years since 2018 with These Boots Made for Walking, as I mentioned. I've been working my way up to producing my first feature film. It's called The Back Nine. It's 85% of the story takes place on the golf course. It's a psychological thriller. So that's something to note right away. And when you come see Wild Bill in Winter, which plays October 17th at 12:30, or as Prince just mentioned, you can see these shorts and view them online if you can't make the festival in person. My website is jeremypackfeatures.com. So you can see most of my work, a lot of it acting and a lot of my filmmaking on there too. What I would say to people coming up is go for it. You got an idea about anything, write it down, write it as a conversation, write some dialogue down, make it into a scene, make that, build on. Don't think that, what you are saying is not going to matter to anybody, or don't worry about it if it's going to or not. If you have this idea or inclination to go out and make something, I think that's what you should do. And, do whatever you can to make that happen. Work with friends, get them involved, and try your best at, if you want to be in front of the camera or behind the camera. I'd suggest too, audit some acting classes. You know,
Yes.
you may not have done anything, but I think that's a huge, huge thing, even for people who don't want to be actors. It gives you a confidence. You see people failing, you see people trying, failing, and you know what you get out of it is that it's all right. You just get up, do your thing again. There's nothing, you know, to hold you back, really. It gives you a confidence walking around in your life to make choices, make hard choices, and, you know, don't worry about how that, you know, you'll be able to get through it. I used to say I was I am still a big Laker fan, man. And when I was in LA, Magic is my all-time favorite, but I'm a huge Kobe fan. And I would tell people all the time, he's a gunner, man. You think he cares if he missed the last 10 shots? He's down the road. So any choice you make, you just keep on going. Don't let stuff hold you back. Don't let things that don't go well in your life hold you down. You just move along, think of something other, you know, make choices, make another choice. Just keep on keeping on. That's what it's all about. You know, whatever you want to be doing in your life, that holds in that way too. It's not about acting and filmmaking necessarily. It's about setting your sights, doing what you want to do, and going for it.
Love it. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for sharing your gift and your gifts and your talent. I'll be watching for you. I'll be promoting you, supporting you, cheering you on from the sidelines, even from where I will be. Ladies and gentlemen, Jeremy Pack.
Thank you, Prince.
When it comes to your gift and your calling that he has been given, the opportunities that he has been facing, the challenges that he ran across, he said, keep on going. Because you fall down don't mean that's where you got to stay. If you fall down, make sure you fall on your back so you can look up and say, I'm coming. I'm going to get up. Keep your head. The Sound of Blackness had the song called Optimistic. No matter what you do, keep your head to the sky. Jeremy Pack kept his head to the sky. And he still isn't finished. He still isn't finished because God isn't finished with him. We give out the stage, hand the stage to people, but it's really to give God glory. It is really to show you, look, we have given the gift and the calling and we didn't earn it. None of this is something he did on his own. It's God has assigned him to share his gifts. And I believe in my heart by speaking to him, he's passionate about sharing stories. Wild Bill in the winter, can't wait to see how that flourish and how it grow and how it blows and how people can be changed by just that one thing or two things that he's responsible for doing. He has an assignment that is on his life. I can tell because my discernment, I know good people. Until next time, I'm telling you, I love you to life. And there's nothing you can do about it but love me back. And in the process of loving me back, take a selfie and say to yourself, my life matters to the Lord. God bless.
In the morning, wake up 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 in the morning, the swag in the morning, the swag in the morning.
Say with amazing grace.
It's us in the morning with the swag in the morning.
Say with amazing grace.